Listen to Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen, Oxford Reading University. Level 2, Part 1.
1. Everyone knows a single man with a lot of money needs a wife. All the families think that he belongs to their daughters. Mrs. Bennet has 5 unmarried daughters. She is trying hard to find husbands for them. One day, she learns that a rich young man, Mr. Bingley, has bought a big house in the neighborhood. "Mr. Bennet, you should go visit Mr. Bingley and invite him to visit us," Mrs. Bennet told her husband. "Why should I do it? You can go on your own. And why do you want to meet this Bingley anyway?" Mr. Bennet asked. "Oh, my dear, he is single and very rich. What a good thing for our girls. Please visit him." "I cannot promise that," Mr. Bennet said. "But think of your daughters. This is important for them," Mrs. Bennet said. "If he decides to marry one of the girls, I will give him my permission," Mr. Bennet replied. "But I must say a good word for my little Lizzie." "Please don't do that. Elizabeth is no better than the others. Jane is much more beautiful, and Lydia is much more cheerful. But you always prefer Lizzie," Mrs. Bennet said. "They are all silly like other girls, but Lizzie is more intelligent than her sisters," Mr. Bennet responded. Jane was the eldest and the prettiest daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Bennet. Elizabeth, or Lizzie, was the second daughter. She was a clever and sensible girl. Lydia was the youngest. She was only 15 years old. Mr. Bennet was teasing his wife. Actually, he understood that meeting Mr. Bingley was important. Soon, Mr. Bennet visited the young man. When the daughters learned about that, they became very happy and excited. 2. A few weeks later, everybody in the neighborhood went to a big ball in Meryton, a nearby town. There, the Bennets met Mr. Bingley, his sisters, and his friend, Mr. Darcy. Mr. Bennet was a handsome, friendly young man. His sisters were very fashionable. However, Mr. Darcy was the most interesting of them all. He was tall and very attractive. He looked like a perfect gentleman. Soon, everybody learned that he was very rich. But it turned out that Mr. Darcy was a very proud and unpleasant man. He looked down on everyone at the ball. Unlike his friend, Mr. Bingley was warm and open. He danced every dance and talked to everyone. He danced twice with Jane, who was the most beautiful girl in the room. At one moment, Elizabeth was sitting not far from Mr. Darcy and Mr. Bingley. She could hear their conversation. "Come, Darcy," Mr. Bingley said. "You have to dance." "Certainly not," Mr. Darcy replied. "I don't like to dance with women whom I don't know. But your sisters are not free." "Oh, God!" cried Bingley. "There are so many pleasant girls in the room, and many of them are very pretty. You are dancing with the only beautiful girl in the room," Mr. Darcy said, looking at Jane Bennet. "Jane is the most beautiful girl I have ever seen," agreed Mr. Bingley. "But one of her sisters is very pretty too. You can dance with her." "Which one?" Darcy turned around and looked at Elizabeth. "Well, she is fine, but not beautiful enough for me." Elizabeth was very angry with him, but she also thought that this conversation was quite funny. When the Bennets came home, Jane told Elizabeth that she liked Mr. Bingley very much. "He is a perfect young man," she said. "Intelligent, polite, cheerful." "He is also handsome," Elizabeth commented. "I was surprised that he asked me to dance twice." "It was natural," Elizabeth replied. "You were much prettier than any other woman in the room." "Oh, dear Lizzie," Jane cried. "Did you like Mr. Bingley's sisters too?" Elizabeth asked. "They have pleasant and friendly manners. I think they will be good neighbors." Elizabeth had another opinion. The Bingleys were from a good family. The sisters were beautiful and fashionable, but they were proud. They liked to think well of themselves and badly of others.
I think you forgot to subscribe to our channel. Do it now to get more audiobooks like this.
3. Everyone thinks that Mr. Bingley enjoyed dancing with Jane very much. People in the neighborhood say that Mr. Bingley is a very pleasant young man. Elizabeth sees that Jane is about to fall in love with him. However, nobody likes Mr. Darcy because he is proud and arrogant. Meanwhile, Mr. Bingley continues paying attention to Jane. His sister, Miss Caroline Bingley, makes friends with her. As for Mr. Darcy, he starts to like Elizabeth. He still thinks that she is not very beautiful, but now he sees that she is intelligent and has nice eyes. One morning, Jane received a letter. Mr. Bingley's sister invited her to visit their house. "Can I take the carriage?" Jane asked her mother. "No, my dear. Take your horse. I think it is going to rain. Then Mr. Bingley will ask you to spend the night in his house," her mother said. "I would prefer to go in the carriage," Jane replied. "No, my dear. Your father cannot give you the horses for the carriage," Mrs. Bennet said. "He needs them for the farm." So Jane went away on horseback. Soon it started raining. It rained all day without stopping. Mrs. Bennet was very happy. That day, Jane didn't come home. The next day, a letter from Jane came. Because of the rain, she was very ill. She needed to stay in Mr. Bingley's house for several days. "Well, my dear," Mr. Bennet said, "if our daughter dies, it will be good to know that it happened because of you." "Oh, it's just a little cold," Mrs. Bennet replied. "If she stays there, it will all be very well." Elizabeth wanted to see her sister. She decided to go on foot to Mr. Bingley's house. "The distance is nothing," she said. "It's only 3 miles. I will be back by dinner." When she came to Mr. Bingley's house, her shoes were dirty. Everyone was very surprised by her actions. However, Mr. Bingley and Mr. Darcy were polite to her. Elizabeth decided to stay in the house for some days. She needed to take care of her sister, who was very unwell. When Elizabeth was in her sister's room, Caroline Bingley started making fun of her. In her opinion, Elizabeth and Jane were not aristocratic enough. Their uncle was a simple lawyer. Mr. Bingley thought that it didn't matter. Anyway, Jane and Elizabeth were very nice girls. Mr. Darcy thought they couldn't find a good husband because of their low connections. 4. The Bennet sisters stay at Mr. Bingley's house, and Darcy likes Elizabeth more and more every day. They have interesting conversations and playful arguments. Darcy tries to spend more time with her, but she avoids him. She still thinks that Mr. Darcy is rather unpleasant. Caroline Bingley sees that Darcy likes Elizabeth and is jealous of her. Caroline wants Mr. Darcy for herself. At every opportunity, she tries to make fun of Elizabeth. Finally, Jane gets better, so her sister takes her home. Mr. Darcy is glad that Elizabeth is leaving. He feels that he is falling in love with her, but he thinks that she is too simple and he cannot marry her. "I hope, my dear," Mr. Bennet said to his wife the next day, "that you are preparing a good dinner for this evening. I am expecting a guest." "Who is he?" Mrs. Bennet asked. "He is a gentleman and a stranger," Mr. Bennet responded. The ladies were surprised. "A month ago, I received a letter from my cousin, Mr. Collins," Mr. Bennet explained. "After I die, this house will belong to him." By law, a woman could not inherit Mr. Bennet's property. He did not have sons, so after his death, his property was going to his male cousin, Mr. Collins. In the evening, Mr. Collins arrived. He was a tall, heavy-looking young man, rather stupid and pretentious. He was a priest in the parish of a very rich woman, Lady Catherine de Bourgh. At dinner, he talked about his position and his friendship with Lady Catherine. Mr. Collins thought it was his duty to marry one of the Bennet sisters. First, he was planning to marry Jane. However, Mrs. Bennet told him that Jane was almost engaged already. Then, Mr. Collins decided to marry Elizabeth. The next day, the Bennet sisters and Mr. Collins went to the town of Meryton. The youngest sisters wanted to see the officers that were staying there at the moment. In Meryton, they were introduced to Mr. Wickham. He was a very handsome, very attractive gentleman with excellent manners. As they talked, Mr. Bingley and Mr. Darcy came by. Mr. Darcy and Mr. Wickham clearly knew each other well and didn't like each other. Elizabeth was very surprised to see that. She wondered what that could mean.
Do you like this video? Send it to your friends.
5. The next day, the Bennets and Mr. Collins went to a dinner party. It turned out that Mr. Wickham was also there. When he entered the room, every woman looked at him. He sat by Elizabeth, and she thought that she was very lucky. To her surprise, soon Mr. Wickham started talking about Mr. Darcy. "How long has Mr. Darcy stayed in Mr. Bingley's house?" he asked. "About a month. I understand that Mr. Darcy has a very big house in Derbyshire," Elizabeth replied. "Yes, he is a very rich man. I can give you a lot of information about that. I have been connected with his family since childhood." Elizabeth looked at him. "You must be surprised, Miss Bennet," Mr. Wickham continued. "Yesterday, Mr. Darcy and I didn't say a word to each other. Tell me, do you know Mr. Darcy well?"
"No, and I don't want to know him better," Elizabeth said. "I have spent 4 days in the same house with him, and I think that he is very unpleasant."
"I have no right to give my opinion," Wickham replied. "I have known him too long, but I wonder if he is going to stay here for much longer."
"I don't know, but I hope you will not leave us soon just because he is here."
"Oh, no," Wickham cried. "If Mr. Darcy doesn't want to see me, he can go away. I don't care about him, but his father was my greatest friend. He was one of the best men that ever lived. However, the young Mr. Darcy is not as honorable as his father."
Elizabeth listened with great interest.
"I was planning to be a priest," Mr. Wickham went on. "Mr. Darcy's father wanted to leave me a large sum of money, but Mr. Darcy didn't like it. After his father died, I didn't get anything."
"No!" cried Elizabeth. "How could that be?"
"Because of Mr. Darcy," Mr. Wickham responded. "I was like a son to his father. Mr. Darcy has always hated me for it. So he stole my money."
Elizabeth was shocked. Mr. Darcy wasn't just an unpleasant man then. He was an evil man. The next morning, she told Jane Mr. Wickham's story. Jane couldn't believe that Mr. Darcy was so terrible. "There must be some misunderstanding between the two men," she suggested. "Something we don't know. No man of honor could do such a thing." While they were talking, Mr. Bingley and his sisters came. They invited the Bennet family to a ball in their house.
Part 2 is coming soon. Do you want more English audiobooks with translations and transcriptions? Check out app.ewa.com. You can read books and learn new words every day. And now, enjoy another English story.